Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Yes, the older man is back. Today, I want to talk about that elusive problem that all of us men have. When we get divorced and we have to pay alimony. Yeah, it's painful as hell. So I want to bring this up because quite a few men have been suffering with this problem. I think you guys need to update your thought process on marriage if you're going to do it. And I know a lot of you are absolutely against it, especially in the West. And to be honest, I don't blame you, because a lot of you are saying to me, oh, Paul, you're married and you're trying to encourage us men to get married. But why would we get married based on the laws that we have? And you know what? I get it 100%. Because when I hear stuff, when I listen to the men that call in and hear how they're getting screwed, I've watched many men over the years of my existence getting screwed. Now, I've been through 2 marriages, but, I came out well, most of it by luck. I didn't have kids, and at one point I didn't have a lot, so I couldn't lose a lot because I got married very young. But my point is, you can still do it and be safe. But you have to understand that if you do get married, there are certain warnings and there are certain things that you should put in place before you even think about doing it. And in saying all that, here are my suggestions to stay safe, which I've said many times because, to be honest, there's nothing else to it. And second, I'm going to give you some ideas on how you should not approach marriage. And that's to keep you as safe as possible if you want marriage. And here's the only reason I encourage you to get married. It is the only way, the most successful way that we have in our society currently, and I say currently because the laws haven't changed yet, for the survival and for the well-being of a child. Cohabitation by both sexes, collaborating together, working together, is the healthiest and the best way that a child should experience another gender or the opposite sex. Whether you have a male or a female child, that child has to experience their parents working together as a unit for them to be successful as a unit in the future with their husband or wife. That's the only reason, to be honest. We all know that single mothers make the worst parent. The statistics are there, and as much as women want to bawl and cry about, misogynist, the stats don't lie. The stats don't lie. So let's not go there, ladies. So in saying that, let's listen to this gentleman who's just paid his last alimony check.
My last alimony payment this month.
You guys were married for 8 years?
Yeah, so in California,
it's half the time you were married?
Unless it goes to 10 years, and then it's indefinite. It's up to the judge.
After 10 years?
Yep. If we had been married for 10 years, it would be an indefinite amount of alimony up to the judge. That payment was assessed based on my earnings, of course, but also there were no stipulations about her needing to work ever. Those payments are coming out, and she just doesn't have to work, and she hasn't worked ever.
So you paid alimony for 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years. Yep. Okay.
She didn't work the whole time?
No, not since we even got together.
You see how shocked the young generation are? The first young lady, when you said she hasn't worked, the first lady, I'll show you. There's her face. Look at that face. Look at that. Yeah. Oh my God, she's never worked? That is shocking to the new generation. So all I'm saying to you is, this new generation of women, unless they're spoiled as rats, right? The women are expected to work. And that's my first suggestion to you. Do not get a woman where she's going to be sitting at home on her own, not working. I know, we traditionalists, the men, I want my wife to stay home and take care of the kids. Our kids shouldn't be out taken care of by some other stranger. Yeah. The problem with that, gentlemen, is that the divorce rate is too high for you to take that risk, where a woman isn't contributing to the family and to herself, so that you're ultimately on the hook for 8, 15, 20, 30 years down the line, where you're paying for her after she's divorced you. No, you should never put yourself in that position, because all alimony is a lifestyle tax for the woman. That's it. Back in the day, it worked well for women, and it was necessary when it was cheaper for the woman to stay home. But in today's environment, where women have all the modern conveniences, what is she going to stay home for? Make the woman go out and work, and it keeps you from actually having to contribute alimony. I want to read a few comments on this. DG123 said, "Gee, I wonder why a lot of men don't like a lot of women. These laws need to be changed." Yes, they do. They need to be updated, but we're here, right? Kogan said, "And women think they got it hard." Yep, really hard it seems. Another gentleman says, "Don't get married, guys. Women in the state have ruined it for men." Yeah, pretty much. That's why a lot of men are not getting married. I don't blame you. That's why we're talking about this right now. Gerald Mull said, "Isn't it funny how women say they don't need a man to take care of them, then demand alimony so that a man could take care of them?" Yeah, but in all fairness, if a woman is sitting at home taking care of the kids, right, and you insist on that happening, how do you think she's going to survive thereafter? Now, the whole idea is for the woman to stay with you, but we know that 70 to 90% of women leave marriages because they're not happy. They're not happy staying at home. Oh, they're not happy working. Oh, they're not happy working or staying at home. You can never please a woman. This is the problem. This is the problem we face in today's modern society. The modern woman do not appreciate or respect being married. That's the problem that we're having. When women are working, they complain, "Oh, I want soft girl era. I want soft. I need to be at home," because the world kicks her ass. The woman that is sitting at home and taking care of the kids and doing all this, the homely stuff. "Oh, I was bored and I'm this," and then all of a sudden she's down the street getting her guts plowed out by some other guy while your husband's at work. Can't please them. There's no winning for a man when it comes to these things. But what we're going to focus on, men. Do not put yourself in a position that whenever she decides to leave, that you are not paying for her lifestyle with another man. That's what you do not want. That's what I want you to specifically focus on in this particular video right now. You don't want to be doing that. Let's listen to another piece of what he said here.
You don't even know that much about alimony and stuff, but like to me, whoever...
It's basically a lifestyle tax on the guy. It's like she lived a certain way and he has to keep that up for her for some number of years.
Right.
Also still taking care of your children.
Right.
Well, he said right, but I don't think he fully understood the question, or he didn't listen properly, because alimony is separate from child support. There's a distinct difference. These are two totally different payments. So if she's taking care of the kids, meaning if she has time with the kids, she has to be compensated for that as well. So alimony is her lifestyle. Child support is the child's lifestyle. Get it right. Understand the difference. So gentlemen, you're on the hook for both of these things if your woman is not working. If she works, you only have to contribute to child support because she is self-sustainable. She had a job. She had a career. And if she didn't break that, then she can go straight back to work after you divorce. So that's why I encourage you, gentlemen, not to have a woman staying at home with the kids alone. Make her get a job. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say in this video. Let me read one more comment. Joe Chime says, "Notice how it is based not on what she needs to live on, but what he earns. So if he starts earning more, he starts paying more. And if he starts earning less, he goes to jail. Shameful. Yes, the system is not designed in favor of the man. By no means whatsoever." So let's go into a woman who was married, who's now calling in to the Kendra G show looking for a new man.
He wanted me to be a housewife when we first met, and I decided to kind of change and wanted a career, and he didn't want that for me, so he gave me an ultimatum, and it's to stay at home and be a housewife or leave and have a career. So I left.
Girl, we want to smack you in the face right now. So let me ask you this. Was he paying all the bills?
He was.
So
See what I mean? Kendra said, "Girl, I could smash you in the face right now." Why? Because every other woman that does call into her show They want a man that could handle all the bills and they can stay home and take care of the kids. What I told you early on, the second you give a woman what she wants, then she no longer wants it. So now she filed for divorce because she wants to go back to work. And the man said, listen, I want my wife home taking care of the kids. So she filed for divorce. See what I mean? But she knows that she's good because she's getting child support. And part of that child support, or most of it, is going to her. So she's fine. She's fine. And she's going to get alimony as well because he had her not working. So it's easy for her now to walk out of the marriage, get alimony, get child support, and she's good to go. All upside for the woman. So yeah, why would men get married? Let me read 2 comments from that. This man said, a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family. A modern woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. 100%. We've heard that. That has become a mantra right now because that's the way women think. She don't care about her family. It's her happiness. If she's happy, that's all she's going to be looking for. And it's sickening, man. I'm going to continue the video because it gets more interesting.
And when you guys got married, that was the plan?
Yes.
So basically, you had your husband. He was your husband?
Mm-hmm.
So he was your husband?
Yes.
You guys had a family?
Yes.
You agreed to be a stay-at-home
yes.
mom. What made you want to get a job?
When I had to constantly ask for a couple of dollars to do stuff, when it was, no, I can't do certain things that I wanted, when it was, no, we don't have enough money to do activities because, one income. And I'm like, well, this is not the lifestyle that I want to live. Like, I just don't want to sit at home and fold clothes and not actually date and have the extra money to do stuff. Like, I just didn't want to fold clothes all day long. I'm sorry. All
right, well, what kind of man are you looking for now, honey?
She didn't have the money to date? Is that what I heard her say? She didn't want to stay at home and fold clothes. She needed money to date. I got to listen to that again. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Just don't want to sit at home and fold clothes and not actually date and have the extra money to do stuff. Like, I just didn't want to fold clothes all day long. I'm sorry. All
right, well, what kind of man are you looking for now, honey?
Don't hate me for this, but I want somebody that's a little bit lit and turned up. My husband was boring. I know, don't.
Woman, I'm telling you, Jesus. She need a man that's a little turned up. My husband was a bit boring. In other words, her husband was mature. Her husband was a provider and a protector. Gentlemen, this is why we can't win in today's modern dating market with these women in the West. This woman had the dream guy. Protector, full provider. She stayed home. She had soft girl era. That's a thing now, apparently. I got to cover this whole soft guy era that's going around right now. But you see what I'm talking about? Now she want somebody who's a little turned up. What is she, 20? Is she a freaking child? This is the kind of childish mentality that you got to be careful of, gentlemen. You guys have to understand that if the woman has a bit of stupidness in her, a bit of immaturity, don't ignore that as kind of, oh, she's just so playful. No, that immaturity could be something very dangerous. If a woman hasn't grown up and she's in her late 20s, 30s, that's not a woman that you choose to marry, my friend. I need somebody who's a little turned and, oh, for Christ's sake, man, turned up. Here somebody goes, nah, the husband was controlling. You can't expect me to be staying at home and not having extra money for date night. Like, we need 2 incomes, obviously. That's why he was born. She literally said she wanted to go on dates with her husband. What's wrong with your hearing? No! If she going on dates with her husband, the husband's taking care of the date. She didn't say go on dates with her husband. What she's saying is I need to go out and play. That's what she wants. Dates. She want to go out and play. Oh man, it's insane. You know what? Let's go on to the next video so that you guys can see what I am talking about. You remember our old friend Tyrese? Let's hear what he has to say about this whole affair.
Holding baby mamas either, so don't even jump in my comments about that. I'm always and have always took care of mine. You gonna leave me? And you wanna take my life with you? That's not happening. I'ma fight you to the end of the earth. But as far as what mine need, they gonna have more than enough. It's not my job to take care of you and your life and go lavish your lifestyle and you decided to leave me. You gonna sit across from your new boyfriend, your new fiance, your new husband and be pimping off my money while this nigga laying up in something that I'm paying for and driving around in and dinners and vacations that I'm paying for? I'm not doing it. But pertaining to my child or my children, they gonna always have more than what they need. I'm talking about those of you who are running around here broken and refuse to do whatever it takes to get it. Refuse to step your up.
The man is shooting his pain out at you and telling you he refused to do that. Now we know his story. Everybody knows his story. To Samantha, who's still trying to get money out of this man after she tried to break the prenup that they had. I think it's almost 5 years they've been divorced. She's still trying to get the money out of him. Now, she hasn't succeeded yet, but poor Kevin Costner, oh, he got screwed. Here it is right here.
Prenup's rock solid. The answer is, look at Kevin Costner's prenup. Kevin Costner and his wife had a prenup in place. She signed it. She had a lawyer. And in the divorce papers that she filed, she sought to set it aside. And she wanted half of all the money that he had made during the marriage. She felt it was unfair that he had made $400 million and she was only getting $1.5 million. It's the agreement that she signed when she got married. It doesn't matter that it's unfair. You don't get to go back on a contract. What makes this case unique is that there was a clause that she would lose whatever she was supposed to get and she'd have to pay his attorney's fees. What you need to make sure that you do, that there is a penalty clause, that they lose whatever they would have gotten and they have to pay attorney's fees. That's the clause that you need in every prenup. This prevents them going rogue in trying to get everything that you have accumulated during the marriage.
There you go, guys. That is a divorce attorney. So that's a lesson for you all. Listen, it's hard to hide assets that you accumulate during a marriage. To protect yourself from that, like I said earlier, make sure that she has a job so that you can show the judge that she's self-sustainable. I don't care how much money you make the damn woman work. Make her work. She has to have her thing going. It stops boredom. And it stops you from getting screwed if she or when she divorces you, because you need proof that she's making her own income. But before you get married, I've told you many, 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 many times, make sure your assets are hidden within a trust or hide behind a trust. You don't own anything when you first get married. And then, second layer of protection, get a prenup, okay? In the event that you do know that you're going to make a lot of money and you see some big things happening, get a prenup. Says that she gets a certain amount of money. And you do all of that before you get married. But because prenups, hey, they're not solid, at least your initial assets are protected because she can't get to those, right? You don't own those. You're renting those from your trust. But at least it's a wall of protection. It's a second wall of protection. Hey, listen, don't take my advice on this. Go and talk to a lawyer in your country or in your state so that you can get better protection before you get married, not after, not during your engagement, before you get married. Any man with any asset whatsoever, put it in a trust, for Christ's sake. Put it in a trust. Don't play with your assets.
I think a lot of people are capable of working and are willing to work, but it's just the way it's set up. The mother and the children are better off if the husband isn't working or if the husband isn't there. And this breaks up so many poor families.
One of the saddest things is that many of the children whose parents are on welfare will in their turn end up in the welfare trap when they grow up.
The people who get on welfare lose their human independence and feeling of dignity. They become subject to the dictates and whims of their welfare supervisor, who can tell them whether they can live here or there, whether they may put in a telephone, what they may do with their lives. They're treated like children, not like responsible adults. And they're trapped in the system. Maybe a job comes up that looks better than welfare, but they're afraid to take it, because if they lose it after a few months, it may be 6 months or 9 months before they can get back onto welfare. As a result, this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle rather than simply a temporary state of affairs.
And that is what happened to black Americans. That's why so many men are out of the home. It wasn't based on what this woman says.
Black men do not fight hard enough to be a parent in their children's lives.
I beg your pardon?
They don't. They do not.
Just a question. I am agreeing with you. Why is it
that they have to fight?
These men have to fight. The fact that they have to fight is one thing. The fact that they're not fighting enough is another thing. So both things are correct. These men are not fighting enough for their child. But why is it that virtually every man has to fight to see their child?
Why are you complaining about a problem that you created for yourself? I don't want to hear it. You created that problem.
It's always Jermaine's fault.
So now you're like, oh, I have to fight my way out of my own problems? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not all adults?
Is this not the same lady who just left a guy after she said he was a great guy? Respectfully, I don't think no man should lose years of his life fighting a demon that wants just whatever she wants. I love the baby, but I don't think no man should have to go through that.
You see what I'm talking about, guys? You all are living in a seriously compromised situation. The system is set up to advantage the woman to leave the man. That's it. Simple. She's incentivized to leave you. I just showed you the video. Now, this woman knows that she has a choice. Stay with her man or depend on the government, because the government has her back. I just showed you the video. That was shot in the 70s. And this problem still continues, where the black woman will shove the man away because she knows that she makes more money from the government than if the man was there to provide for her, ignoring all the other benefits that the man brings in to the marriage or to the child. Because we now live in a society where everything benefits the woman. And that's where we have a problem. It's sickening to watch, to be honest with you. But women are suffering now. Where are all the good men gone? Philippines, Panama, Latin America, Brazil, China, Japan, anywhere else except the Western Hemisphere. Should I say more? Can I say more? To me, it almost feels like I'm a broken record, repeating the same crap. When will it change? I have no idea. Can it be changed? Is it reversible? I don't think it is. I think it has to literally die to a point where it is catastrophic. We now know that by the year 2030, more than 50% of women in the West will be childless and not married. They didn't say that about men, because men can leave. Women can't. That's the difference. The men can still go and marry the girl from McDonald's. Women ain't doing that shit. Can tell you that. So that's the disadvantage she has. So anyway, guys, listen, as usual, subscribe if you've reached the end of the video. Give me a thumbs up, please, on your way out. And of course, if you want to book a session with me, please do so over on askanolderman.com. All right, so until next video, listen, always remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.